Hello coders, welcome back to my video. So in this video, we will be seeing the basics of a Docker, that is an image and a container. So we will take out some examples, like we'll fetch a Ubuntu container from the Docker Hub and try to uh, you know work on that using some simple commands. And also at the last of this video, we will see how to edit a container, and then we will share it with the other team member to edit over the top of that. So here we are in the Docker desktop app, which we installed in our last video. And in there, what we did was we just have an image of hello world and we run it as a container. Okay. So first of all, let's recap what is a Docker image and what is a Docker container. Okay. So a Docker image is a read-only package template containing application code, runtime, libraries, dependency, and configuration required to run an application. Okay. If you want to recall it, like it is just like a class in C++. Okay. So they are not been in the running state. Okay. So when your image comes in the running state after booting, it will become a Docker container. So the Docker container is an isolated running instance of the Docker image that include a writable layer for runtime changes. Okay, so this is just the generic definition. So if you see here, if you click on the images, you will get a hello world image. So this is just the binary. Okay, so when it comes into the running state, it become a container. Okay, so now what I will do, I will take a Ubuntu container now, and then we will do some Docker operation. We will, recap some commands and we will learn some new commands as well using Docker API. Okay. So for that, let's go back to the terminal and write a command Docker images. So if you write this, you will get a hello world image that is latest and that is being fetched here and is of 25.9 KB. Okay. So similar to this, I want to fetch the Ubuntu image. So how I can fetch? I can use Docker pull Ubuntu. Okay. So once I do that, I'll get the Ubuntu image installed in my system. So see, everything is downloading, it's extracting. Now, if I do Docker images again, you will see a Ubuntu latest version is being installed here and have some ID and it's of 160 MB. Okay, so now you get the binary. Now we have to convert or change it into a container in the runtime state. Okay, so how to run it? So the command is docker run hyphen I for interactive, T for terminal, and then we have Ubuntu, that is name of the image which we want to run, and then we have the shell, bash shell. So once I click to this command, I will be there in the Ubuntu bash. So if I click this, you will see here, you will get the root user and with the container ID. Okay. So if I do ls-lrt, you will get the file system of the Ubuntu here. If I need to check the version of Ubuntu, I can do cat etc os release. So if you see here, it's Ubuntu 26.04 LTS version. So this container is of Ubuntu 26 environment. So the related packages are of Ubuntu 26 only. Okay. So how to exit from this container? If we exit from this container, we'll get back to our Windows OS. Okay. And if I try to use Docker ps-a, you will see here you will get a Ubuntu with a container ID of this that we earlier, you know, launched. But now it is exited, so it's not there. So if you want to start it again, what to do? You need to do docker start the container ID. Okay. So if you do that, your instance, the container ID will again be launched. So if you do ps-a, you will see the status is up and is of 8 seconds. And this is the container ID for this Ubuntu. Okay. So as it is started, so I want to get now in the console as this container is already there. I want to get inside. So there is a command docker exec -it, and then we have the container ID and dash. So earlier we just run it to create this container ID, and now I am going inside this container ID. So if you go this also, you will be landing into the container only. Okay, so similar to earlier one. Okay, so I again exit from that. Again I do ps, so it's already there. So now what I need to do, I need to delete this container. So what I will do, I will do docker remove container. Okay, so it is showing cannot remove this container, container is running. So first I need to stop this container. Okay, so how to stop? So docker stop. Okay, now I can remove it. So if you see again using ps command, you won't get that container. Okay, so it's lost. You need to run it again now to get that container. Now, if you see here, you got Docker images. So your Ubuntu image is still there. I want to delete this image as well. So how can I delete this? I can use Docker RMI and this Ubuntu. So once I do this, my image will be deleted. Okay, so these are the very simple commands of using the Docker. Okay, so now what we can do is we will pull out the Nginx Docker now. So Nginx is a web server, and we will be changing the index.html page of that Docker, and we will see how it looks. So first of all, I need to pull that image. So we have Docker pull Nginx. So using the latest stack, and it will be pulling it from the server, and everything is downloading. So once it is completed, you can go for Docker images again. And now you have this Nginx with this ID fetched here. Okay. Now you want to launch this Docker. So this Docker we can launch using Docker run only. Okay. So we use Docker run hyphen D. Hyphen D is running in the background. So this Docker will be running in the background. Then the name, for example, my Nginx. Okay. And hyphen P, the port number on which this Docker will be running. So I think I'll use 8080 and 80, and then I will do Nginx. So this is the name of the image that is listed here. So once I do this, see, you're still in the console, but your Docker has been started. How to check that? So Docker PS. So you see here, your Nginx image is been launched, and it's up from 8 seconds something, and it's listening on some port for some entry. Okay. So next thing what I need to do is I will have to check this web page. So it would be HTTP localhost 8080. So if you do that, you will get the welcome page of Nginx. It means this Nginx web server is running in the form of a container in your system. Simple as that. Okay. So now what I will do, I will go inside this Docker now. So how to go inside? As we know the command -it, then Nginx, and then we have dash. Simple as that. So this is allowing me to get inside. So what is the problem I have here so that I am not able to get inside? Okay. So because I put the name as my Nginx for that Docker. So if I do my Nginx, you will be in the Docker now. Okay. So now I will change the index page of this Nginx. So how can I change that? For example, I have user share and then I have Nginx, and if I do index, so this is the welcome page of the internet Nginx, and what I will do, I will just change it. So in spite of this, I'll go into the HTML and I will paste this text. Okay, and if I do cat on index.html, you will get only this header. Welcome to Rahul's Docker channel. Okay. So next, what I need to do, I need to check whether this is applied or not. So I will again go to this and I'll refresh this page, and you see, you get this thing. So right now it's temporary. Okay, it's not been saved anywhere. So how to save these changes in the Nginx Docker so that we can use it further? So for that, what I need to do is I need to save it. So I'll exit from there. Okay. And if I do PS, my container is still running. Okay. So now I want to check in my changes to the cloud. Okay. So how to do this? So for that, what I need to do is I need to do Docker commit. Then we have my Nginx, and I have to give the name of my Docker. So this is Rahul S012345. So I'll take it from here. And then we have to give the name of our modified directory. So what is that? We have Nginx demo. Okay. And we'll give one tag to it as well. So for example, V1. So this is a tag. And when we enter this, you see your things are being committed. Okay. So next thing, what I need to do is we need to check Docker images. So if you see here, my image is still there, my modified image, what do you say? So somehow, but the thing is, you need to do Docker login. So whatever you log into the Docker, it will try to check. So if you see here, my login got successful here. Okay. So next path is you need to push it. So you need to do git Docker push. What I need to push? I need to push this thing. Okay. If you see here, the push reference to repository, this one. And if I go to this Docker and I check images is already there in V1. Okay. So this is how we can push our changes to Nginx server. Okay. So how to put this image in some other system? So that is the point. Okay. So for example, I have a Linux system. So we also have docker.desktop for Linux system as well. So we need to install that Docker desktop in that Linux system. And then I need to log in to my ID, same ID, because this thing I'm taking private. Okay. Once I log into that, then simple git pull, we can pull this repo over there, and I will get all the details that is saved into this Nginx demo. Okay, so I can get the same header as we have changed in the second system as well. So our work is not been destroyed. Rather, it's been shifted from one system to second system without any dependency problem. So this is the problem that we solved using Docker Hub. Okay, so this is all about this video. Stay tuned with us for the next videos. Thanks.